Welcome back, VC. So on the last video, I did some records that were sort of not well known, a little bit obscure, some of that neo-psych stuff. So I had a couple of requests saying, well, go back to the 60s again. So I thought I would do a quick video and show you some records from the 60s that I picked up, especially during the flea market years, which occurred many years ago. So let's get right into it. And these are all the bands I'm going to show today. Should be really well known. It should be a walk down memory lane for people my age. And for young people, perhaps you may discover a new old band that you weren't aware of. So let's get started with one of the best known bands in the world, the Rolling Stones.
Take my way, that's the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66.
So this was a UK release, mono pressing, very early record by the Rolling Stones, probably their first. And this one right here would sort of be the, I guess, at least the Canadian equivalent and probably the North American equivalent here, which is England's newest hit makers, the Rolling Stones. Come with a free poster. I did not get the free poster when I bought this one at the flea market, and of course this is on the London London FFRR pressings. Here's an early Rolling Stones too. This was pressed in Germany.
The joint was rocking, going round and round, reeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. And they never stopped rocking till the moon went down. Well, it sounds so sweet, I had to take me a chance. Rose out of my seat, I just had to dance. Started moving my feet, oh, the clap of my hands. I said the joint was rocking, going round and round, reeling and rocking.
So again, that's a Decca pressing. So interestingly here, when they had listed the title of the songs on the back, they give an indication of, I guess, the style of music, such as shake, blues, twist, shuffle, and limbo. Of course, we all like to do the limbo to the Rolling Stones songs. Just as an example, no sound cut here, but here's an example of Rolling Stones album, Get Your Yayas Out, and this is a French pressing here, I believe. London Decca pressing, and the gatefold. You have a sort of a little booklet inside on the Rolling Stones. So something a little different, a French pressing. Now, time and again you hear me refer to the flea market days. That was like 15 or more years ago. That was before the vinyl resurgence started. Pricing was a whole lot different back then. I want to give you an example with the Rolling Stones album. Here's the Sticky Fingers album. The zipper, everything is intact in here. The record is in VG+. The only thing is a little bit of a stain up here, water stain in the corner here. But other than that, so back in the day when I was collecting records, paid $5 for this. 2 weeks later, the vendor had another copy, and I bought that one for $5 as well. I wonder if you can still get this for $5 nowadays, an original stick fingers pressing. Just another example too of stones. Everybody's aware of this one. So their Satanic Majesty's album there, and with the 3D cover. Interesting about this one, I got this one at the flea market, and the thing about this one that I really wanted is that, at least in my neck of the woods, the mono pressings were very rare. Every copy that I saw would be a stereo pressing, and I finally found the mono pressing. Now I paid $15 for that, so that was big bucks. So when I was a kid and started making money through allowance, Rolling Stones is one of the bands I would buy, along with Roxy Music, Brian Ferry, a few others. So that was around the time, like Goat's Head Soup, like that, where I was actually going down to the record store as a young teenager and buying the records. And of course, this is the one here that I bought. Everybody's pretty aware of this, but of course, the interesting this, I bought this the week it came out, and so it has all the faces on it, which is my understanding that they had to pull some of the faces later because they did not have the rights to put those faces on. I think perhaps Lucille Ball might have been one of them. I'm not sure, but an example of that. Here's one I actually bought from a private collection. A friend was selling his records. Another big, well-known artist from back then. This will be Jimi Hendrix, and warning, we're now going to have nudity in this video.
There must be some kind of way out of here, said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. Businessman there to drink my wine, plowman dig my earth. None will ever own the mine. Nobody of it is worth.
So that's a Polydor pressing, so that's a later pressing. Certainly not the first pressing, which was on a different label. That is a UK pressing. No. And I'm not a super big Jimi Hendrix collector. I really like his music, but never really came across a lot of his records in the flea market days. And that wasn't from a flea market either. That was from buying someone's collection. Well, I did buy this one recently, within the last few years or so. When it came out, I bought it when it came out. And I think if you're a very serious Jimi Hendrix fan, this is one that you would want to have in your collection. And this is the West Coast Seattle Boy, the anthology. See, it's huge. It is heavy. It comes with an awesome book inside, detailing the career path of Jimi Hendrix. Just a quick thing here off the sort of like the liner notes. This is a deluxe 8 LP box set through Jimi Hendrix's career. Contains 45 previously unreleased or commercially unavailable tracks, and a 36-page booklet inside. All records 180 gram audiophile grade vinyl. So, and you can see record 1 here, it's in chronological order, of course. You can see very early days. I think he played with the Isley Brothers, didn't he? Yeah, the Isley Brothers. He was with the Isley Brothers there for a while. Oh, almost got away from me. So that's something that a real serious Jimi Hendrix fan might want to have in their collection. It's still available on Amazon. I think it's a little bit pricey nowadays. It was cheaper when I bought it. Like everything else, the price goes up over time. Let's move these out of the way for a sec. I'll bring some more up. So another super big artist, of course, back then, was one of my favorite artists, David Bowie.
Passion with bright young things takes him away to war. Don't fake it, sagging glissando strings. You'll make it. Ooh, we'll love a lot insane. Apple cries and champagne, just in time for sunrise. Sensational. Paris or maybe hell.
So another flea market story. Back 15 years ago, whatever, I only had about 3 David Bowie records in my collection. Station to Station was one, Low was another, and I had a third one. And I was a David Bowie fan, always keep my eye open. Walked into that flea market, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, I guess. 12 years ago, probably. And sitting on one table, the whole box was nothing but David Bowie. And I said to the vendor, well, how much are these records? And he said, the RCA records are $7 each. And the UK imports are $10 each. So I pulled out the 3 that I already own, because it was just about everything in there. I pulled out the 3 I own, and then I slid the box over to the vendor and just said, add it up, how much do I owe you? And walked out with the whole box. This is just a touch of what, like, in the box there is like, there was pin-ups, Ziggy Stardust. What's this? I think this is Hunky Dory. What's this one here? Space Oddity. So these are all $7 each. The Man Who Sold the World or something. There's another version of The Man Who Sold the World. And many more. It's like one of the records in the box was Peter Rabbit. And I didn't even know if such a thing existed. So again, I said, getting all these early David Bowie records for $7. I think that was a pretty good deal back then. Moving on to another one of my favorite artists. And that is Donovan.
God is playing marbles with his planets and his stars, creating havoc through my life with his influence on Mars. That's why I'm stumbling down the highway on my boots.
I won't bother trying to pull the record out of that one. That's on the Epic label. The insert is pretty tight there. Now this is one that I bought myself from the record store when I was a kid. I was buying Donovan when I was a kid. So I've got most, I wouldn't say I've got every one of his records, but I'm pretty close to it, studio albums. But ones that I think people really know are Sunshine and Superman. I mean, that was a super big hit. Hurdy-Gurdy Man, that was another really big hit. So I'm a huge Donovan fan. So let's get into some of the less superstar type bands. They're from the 60s. And actually, here's a band that I really like a lot. And at the time, I had to go online to get these records at an auction. You know, they're hard to come across, the originals. They're expensive, and that was the Shangri-Las.
Seems like the other day, my baby went away. He went away, crossed the sea. It's been 2 years or so since I saw my baby go. And then this letter came for me. He said that we were through. He found somebody new. Oh, let me think, what can I do? Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no.
So interesting to note, a lot of pictures of this band in their very early days, you would only see 3 girls, but in fact there were 4 girls in the band. Her sister is quite often missing from a lot of the pictures, but you do see them on this cover here. Now they were on the Redbird label, and it's my understanding, if I remember correctly, Remus, I think Mercury bought the Redbird label, and I think it's at that time then that these guys just sort of disappeared. I'm not sure what was happening there, whether Mercury didn't want them or they just decided to stop. So here's one. I showed one of their albums on the previous video back, and it's a group everybody knows, the Zombies.
Well, no one told me about her, the way she lied. Well, no one told me about her, how many people cried. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted.
This one was a little bit hard to get back in the day. I think I got this one online as well. So another band everybody is familiar with, and that is Question Mark and Mysterians. And of course they had their big hit there, 96 Tears. This is a very well-known album. And what's the label? Oh yeah, Cameo. But let's, for today, let's sample their other album, which was called Action.
Belong to another, but I didn't mind. It had the sweetness I wanted in life. Got to find it. Yeah.
So I think I noticed there on the Zombies and on this one too, these are mono pressings, so they got stickers on them telling you that you can play them on stereo turntables. Actually, this one, both those albums, 96 Tears and Action, they sound a lot the same. If you like one, you're definitely going to like the other, and if you don't like one, you're not going to like the other. A band that everyone is really familiar with is Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders, and they had that great big hit, Game of Love. And I won't bother playing, label it on that one. And this is a mono pressing. Was it Fontana label? But the one I'm going to sample is the Mindbenders with no Wayne Fontana.
little nightingale, singing such a sweet song. Are you telling me that our love was wrong? Are you trying to say that I don't belong? To a heart. Anyway, now we're apart.
So my personal preference when I was collecting records that were released in the 60s, if they were released in mono and in stereo, I always went for the mono copy. That was usually the first pressing. But yeah, I'm sort of just right into the mono stuff. Once again, here's a well-known band that everybody is familiar with. Is the McCoys, and in this particular record, they have Hang On Sloopy, which was a really big hit back in the 60s. It looks like these guys are on the Bang label. We all remember them. Let's see, can we show the Bang? Yeah, there's the Bang label. I think Neil Diamond was on that label. I got some Neil Diamond. But the one we're going to sample, because I think that the album followed up that one. And right here, this is a stereo pressing.
Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. Your tasty kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go.
If you wanted that star that shines so brightly to match the stardust in your eyes, darling, I would chase that bright star nightly and try to steal it from the sky. I'll give you
Sweet for my sweet, sugar for my
So the song that I just sampled there is Sweets for My Sweet. I've heard that on many records. That seems to be almost a standard back there in the early mid-60s. In comments on one of the recent videos, someone mentioned the left bank. So let's show that, the left bank.
And when I see the sign that points one way, the light we used to pass by every day. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalks on my block are not the same. You're not to blame.
Well, that was the Smash label. And here's their other follow-up album here. The Left Bank 2. Here's one. Everybody's familiar with this. This is a real standard. This is the Nashville Teens.
I was born in a barn. Mama died and daddy got drunk. Left me here to die a road in the middle of Tobacco Road. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Grew up in a rusty shack. All I had was hanging on my back. Only you know how alone this place
London
goes.
mono pressing. It's Tobacco Road. That's another standard. Heard that on many garage albums from the 60s. So one day I was at the flea market, and so I already own that album, the Nashville Teens, and someone said, well, do you have this one, the Nashville Teens? And I said, well, It looks like it's the same record. It's just that it's pressed in Germany, I believe it is. And I said, what's the point in buying this one when I already have the other one? And this individual who was an expert on buying all that, he goes, oh, no, you got to get this one. Got to add this to your collection, because apparently at the time there was 2 tracks on this record for the Germany market or whatever, where those 2 tracks never appeared anywhere else, not on any North America or UK pressing, not as a 45, not on the album, whatever. So he says, oh yeah, you gotta get that album for those 2 tracks, and whatever. So I bought it anyway. So another one that everybody knows, the Swinging Blue Jeans.
For goodness sake, I got the hippie shakes. Yeah, I got the shakes. I got the hippie shakes. Oh, I can't sit still with the hippie shakes. Yeah, I feel my fill now with the hippie shakes. Yeah, it's in the bag. Oh, the hippie shake. Well, now you shake it to the left, you shake it to the right, you do the hippie shake with all of your might, oh baby. Yeah, come on and shake.
So a lot of standards on this one too. Save the Last Dance for Me, Shaking All Over, Good Golly Miss Molly. And just play all the hits. You can't go wrong. And this one here, this is actually, when I discovered this band, this is a band that I really liked a lot. This is some of my favorite records by this band here. And this is the Liverpool 5.
I'm not just stepping stone, let me be now. I'm not just stepping stone, set me free now. You're trying to make your mark in society, using all the tricks that you used on me. You're reading all them high fashion magazines, the clothes you're wearing lately causing public scenes. I said I'm not just stepping stone.
So while holding up the record, I see Dino Groove, immediately RCA. And I had seen discussions on the internet. RCA put out Dino Groove to sort of make records sound better for individuals who had lower end turntables, so lower end stylus, tone arms, whatever. And it may have worked that way, but from what I heard from the audio files is that Dino Groove really stuck if you had a high-end turntable with a very good stylus and tone arm. So, who knows. And this is another album by them, the Liverpool 5. Both albums are very strong, worth checking out if you're into that 60s garagey sound. There we go. Now, this is a good name for a garage band. The Barbarians.
Are you a boy? Are you a girl? With your long blonde hair, you look like a girl. Yeah, you look like a girl. You may be a boy, you look like a girl. You're either a girl or you come from Liverpool. You can talk like a female monkey, but you swim like a stone.
Hi guys, battery died, so I stuck a new battery in, just as I was showing the Barbarians. I was going to say that with a name like the Barbarians, I think the music is a little bit on the soft side. I think if you're going to call yourself the Barbarians, you should have Cookie Monster as your lead vocalist. So here we go, the last record for this particular video, and it is the Music Explosion.
Now when you're feeling low and the fish won't bite, you need a little bit of soul to put you right. You gotta make like you wanna kneel and pray, and then a little bit of soul will come your way. Now when your girl is gone and you're broken too, you need a little bit of soul to see it through.
And that's it for today, friends. And if you have any suggestions on what type of records you would like to see, and if I have them in my collection, I'll show them. I know one genre of music I really have never shown is 80s, like 80s new waves, or like Depeche Mode and Simple Minds and all that. I have a lot of that from the flea market days when vendors would say to me, if you buy 4 or more records, and this was on a table with nothing but new wave records, all in perfect condition, and they would say, if you buy 4 or more records, we'll sell them to you for 25 cents each. So I would just buy what I could carry and walk out of there. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a great day.